All right. Let the history rewrite itself over and over and over. I love humans. They come in many great lights, great flavors. Funny, weird, goofy, honest. But then, man, we are really led by some of the worst. So today we're going to go over, and it's a subject that I like to talk about, not this particularly, but just the fact that, I mean, we'll go through a lot of details, but where do we even start? Let's talk about the fact that people are turning against each other for no reason, separating by a political line, while the plebs go at each other's throats over whatever political soundbite they enjoy listening to or really feeds their particular um, dopamine hit. The officials that lead us, well, they just funnel money underneath everyone's freaking rug. So USAID, that's the subject. USAID, and eventually we'll probably talk about Citizens United and every other nice sounding thing that ends up actually being the biggest, most irrelative factor to the title of what they name it. They name it one thing that sounds so great, and then all of a sudden it ends up being just crap, just totally opposite of what it is. You cannot judge a book by its title or cover. And in government, always assume the opposite. So let's begin.
Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, have created a new government agency called Doge. And what I originally thought was just an older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged video game controller actually turned into a real thing. And their first order of business was dismantling
That's fair.
USAID, an innocent government program that helped poor people all around the world. Or was it?
Yeah. Was it though?
Hello,
Really?
and welcome back to the Shoeonhead channel. I am Shoeonhead, and I am not real. I am a figment of your imagination. You have been in a coma since 2012. Wake up. Wake up.
Seriously.
Today we will be talking about the dark, seedy
It's
underbelly
really
of
felt like it.
USAID. This is a topic I've been interested in for a very long time now. And now that recently USAID has been in the news, I figured it is a perfect time to finally talk about it. All the mainstream liberal coverage I've seen of this has basically been late night talk show hosts crying fake tears about it being dismantled.
I used to look up to this guy. I used to think he was on point, based, and then he got bigger and bigger. And every like each new kind of increment of his life and his like he just diverged so far away um from John Stewart. He just completely just went off the edges. Like John Stewart still works, I feel like, on an honest level, but you, my sir, not so much.
Dismantled, and all the mainstream Republican coverage has just been about all the woke shit USAID was apparently funding. But I promise you, it is more than that. A lot more. If you're not a very political person and you only come here to consume the Reddit gender war slop, you should still stick around for this because this gets juicy. And remember, even if you're not interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And trust me, I understand why some people aren't interested in politics. It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day. But
Yeah.
thankfully, I have a tool to help with that. That's right,
Oh,
ladies
great.
and gentlemen, this video is sponsored
I'm sorry,
by
Shoeonhead.
USA. Just kidding. This video is sponsored by Ground News. Let's
I've
quickly
went
give
through
them a
this so
shout
many
out and then we will
times.
jump back into this deep dive. The ad.
I did
Right.
kind of,
Now let's
sorry.
get back
I've
to
went
this
through this video so
USAID
many
deep
times.
dive, shall
I've
we?
given you the view.
So,
Many
Donald
views.
Trump and Elon Musk created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from 2012?
Or the
Epic bacon, my
crypto
fellow
coin.
memers. Honestly, who am I to talk about dead memes? My username is Shoeonhead. So, Doge's supposed goal seems to be cutting useless spending the government is making us pay taxes on. Now, I have very mixed feelings about taxes. From each according to his ability. To each according to his needs. Taxation is theft! The tree of liberty will be refreshed with the blood of tyrants! My opinion has always been, if we are going to pay
That's
taxes in this
basically what the
country,
two
could they at
sides are.
least go to things that actually help people, like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, child tax credits, firefighters, fixing our bridges and roads, castrating pedophiles, government-funded girlfriends, things like that. And yeah,
Honestly, wouldn't that be a great way to put tax money to use? Castrating pedophiles? That would fix a lot of issues on the factor of people that are affected by. I mean, even people that are rapists, people that do anything that would harm another person. Any man, sorry, fellas, but any guy that expresses an extreme level of testosterone, that's sexually fueled towards females and has a history of doing it multiple times, cut off the pee. Just cut it, get it over with. Maybe that'll help with testosterone levels. Probably not, but hey, at least something's fixed. Like cut it off so they can't do it anymore. Just cut it off.
yes, we should be auditing the government. I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things, pro-good things. Those are my politics.
Basically.
And hating libertarians. Just kidding, I love libertarians. I get along great with them. As long as we don't talk about child labor. Anyway, Doge got straight to work, firing government workers and basically hiring my Twitter mutuals. What was once a theater kid-occupied government is now a right-wing schizo poster-occupied government. No, I am not joking.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So
I love this part. There's so much troll on the mainstream media, and these professionals up and stuck up people, they don't even know how to like reference that. How do you say big balls on national TV? You have to like downplay it, and she plays it down pretty well, but in the end, it's like, you just said big balls on TV, girl. You just failed regardless of what you're gonna do. But like, really, that's the focus? Just this little thing? Regardless of all the other skill sets this individual has, that's the thing you focus on? Ah.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working
One
at
way.
Musk's behest inside Doge.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Donald Trump and Elon Musk would hire some Zoomer named Big Balls to help audit the government, I'd believe it. Like, yeah, that checks out. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. They're not even old enough to rent a car. They're in their 20s. We sent 18-year-olds to go die in the wars you cheerlead on, you evil hag.
For
Why are they
real.
so focused on the ages of these people when our government is basically a retirement home?
They're like so accepting of individuals at those ages being cannon fodder for the military use. They're responsible enough to handle a gun and trust them enough to point the gun in the right direction. But now they're looking at you, Miss Hillary, the whole system itself, and all of a sudden they're not responsible or they're not capable. I'm sorry. I thought the military accepted their abilities at 18. What are you arguing? It's a The problem is it's a catch-22. It's always the game we're playing with politics. They need people to vote for them. So they try to play a mask to get people to like them. But when it comes to actually providing for people, they blame each other. Oh, they didn't do this, Republicans that, oh, Democrats this. And then we're over here like, wait, like, what do we do? We vote for the people's ideas, but the ideas never happen because it's all a fucking game. It's a circus. It absolutely is a circus. It's a circus of two parties that can't ever agree, but they go to each other's little cocktail parties. And we can't ever figure out how to fix our own problems, but they're okay sending their own, or not even their own people, us, to their own dramas across the world, political dramas. You're gonna see USA really does, man, it really does raise the question of why do we have these people here?
But honestly, I don't blame Hillary Clinton. If I were her, I also wouldn't want 22-year-olds in the government. Months before dismantling the
The
Department
slow
of
drink, though.
Education, or apparently Sesame Street, Doge's first order of business was dismantling USAID.
Without providing any proof, Elon said USAID is a criminal organization. Oh, yeah. They're an international crime syndicate hell-bent on helping people.
Pretty fed up, huh? Taking
Yeah.
money away from an aid program that helps poor people all around the world. Except USAID
Aid.
was not exactly that. In fact, it doesn't even f***ing stand for aid. It stands for United States Agency for International Development. It has f*** all to do with aid. But honestly, I don't blame you for thinking it does. After all, they do make the word aid a different color in the logo. Those sneaky bastards.
Marketing.
Although it said
Fucking marketing. Dude, you can make anything look like anything with just enough marketing, enough little visual aid, and people will assume things without actually going into detail because it's more complicated than that. But hey, trust the title, right? Everything's fine. Patriot Act. Patriots. Oh, surveillance? Wait a minute. Tapping into people's phones? Hmm. Citizens United. Wouldn't we want to all be united? Wait, corporations can dedicate more money through PACs and other forms of higher level money laundering through politics? Like, this is the whole problem. Like, life is already complicated enough that these people are abusing the fact that they can just hide stuff in between the lines, right? They can name something nice, they'll have a couple of good paragraphs, and then somewhere between pages 1000 and 1058, they'll put all their little pieces in there. So you, by the time you're at the end of that document, you're done reading, and also you might accidentally skip it. It's like a freaking terms and conditions. Those are already just agree off the bat. Most people don't even read that stuff. That's for lawyers to do. Oh, I can talk about this all day, but let's go on.
USAID provides 42% of global aid, the truth is most of those funds are just spent paying US contractors and secretly conducting regime change all around the world. In fact, 80% of all USAID funding goes to just 75 organizations, while only 6% of that goes to aid. And by auditing USAID, Doge exposed the true, real puppet masters behind the secret cabal of evil masterminds funding the woke ideology spreading all around the globe.
Yeah.
You. Yes, it was you, American taxpayer.
Yeah.
Turns out the deep state was the friends we made along the way. And yes, it's true, we are spending billions of dollars in our tax money to fund things like teaching Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, combating disinformation in Kazakhstan, promoting inclusion in Vietnam, millions to an Armenian LGBT group, millions to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem, millions for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, millions for LGBT activism in Uganda, millions for atheism in Nepal, millions for male circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala.
This is
And
embarrassing.
many other things that were so ridiculous I had to double check to make sure I wasn't being trolled. Taxpayer funded sex changes in
For most of those, I bet you it's just a little title or description that gets added to the database, but only a portion of the money goes in those locations. 100%, if even any of that money. Because at this point, we're fighting over these cultural ideologies, and now they're backing up whatever they want to add to their little list of funds and putting a little cultural spin-off in there so that people will be like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Sure, why not? But then do we think about why we're doing that? Do we think about the people that need that here? Do we think about anything else that might be happening, like the money not actually going there? There's countries out there that'll spend like $5 million on a small country, $5 million on a highway. What they'll do, they can choose the high quality resources and material and make that highway extremely like strong and capable and durable, but then they won't have the ability to basically get more money for that highway 5 years down the road because it won't break. So what they do is They put 2 million, half the money to the resources. They keep the other 3 million, so bonus paycheck. And then you got to do that same thing 5 years later because by that time the cheap materials are effed up. Why fix things? It's not profitable to fix things. It's not profitable to fix things to a way where they won't break again. You just look at your phone. Just look at everything we do. Everything's got a planned obsolescence. It's not profitable to have something that works. It has to break at some point because you have to replace it. Is that just the way everything is then? Is politics the same way? So culture is the same concept. You break it and then you go and tell everyone's culture is broken and we got to put money in your freaking culture so we can fix it.
Guatemala? We don't even do that here. Now, you might be saying, Shoo, this seems like some stupid anti-woke shit. And yeah, kind of. You got me. But I ask you, young naive liberal, why the f*** was John Bolton once the head of USAID? John Bolton, for those of you who are unaware, is an infamous neocon hack. He's literally criticized Trump for not being enough of a warmonger. Neocon hacks, for those same few of you who are unaware, are the people in our government responsible for meddling with other countries all around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies. The people who suck the teat of Raytheon, Boeing, etc. The military-industrial complex's favorite Discord kittens. These guys come in shades of red and blue. So why was John Bolton, a red guy, in charge of the same program, USAID, that is sending American taxpayer money to foreign countries to have things like trans pride parades?
Yeah, let's send the warmonger, the person that essentially tries to, solve everything with military equipment. Let's have him run the whole system that we're supposed to be providing aid for other people. Perfect way to start problems. Perfect way to start problems. Let's send this retard off to make deals and piss other countries off, and then we'll solve it with war later. That seems very preemptive to me.
The truth is, the USAID thing goes a lot deeper than what a lot of Republican commentators are saying. It wasn't just a bunch of libtards in government wasting our money on stupid woke things. No, there's way more than that. You see, it's
Sadly.
current year and we can't just do old-fashioned imperialism anymore. The people don't like that. It's a new era, so we have to dress it up in glitter and rainbows. To put it bluntly, USAID is nothing but another form of taxpayer-funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up, Shoo! You dumb bimbo populist! You reactionary shitlord! You cry, tears running down your fat, retarded face. The United States is just giving foreign countries billions of dollars out of the kindness of their hearts! Oh yeah? I have a lovely bridge on sale down the road. Would you like to buy it? Listen, despite all its faults, I
People
love
fall
America,
for this
and I
stuff,
love the
man.
American people. But if you believe the corrupt, greedy bureaucrats running the deep state of this country do anything out of the kindness of their hearts, you are
False.
a sweet, innocent angel, and you need to be protected at all costs. I especially side-eye any leftists who
I personally call for Darwin's theory. Like, that's life. That's life. If you think everything is just peachy and everyone's such a good person, that's nice, but go to the jungle. That's not how that happens there. This is not anything different from that. People will be people. People are animals and they're at huge error. And they will use others that are just so nice and so they're gullible to think everything is going to be fine just as long as they believe you or that person that's telling us to believe them. Everything will be fine. We'll take care of it. It's it's we just hope to have things that are nice. That's it. That's all basic humans want. They just want some nice things. Basic nice things. I'm not talking about Gucci. I'm talking about just not stress. But then that doesn't turn out that way no matter who you pick. So isn't that a tip that maybe it's not who you pick, it's that they're both the same? And maybe this Trump guy, I'm not a fan, but maybe he's coming in. Basically, I mean, he already wrecked the old Republican Party, didn't he? Back in 2016. He wrecked that up real hard. They were trying to get on his throat, and then he took over. And then Democrats, they were the next ones to go. So like when you see someone that's coming in and people don't agree with him, there is that pull to be like, I don't like Republicans, I don't like Democrats, and this guy is making both of them hate him. I like him. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully. But then again, do we ever know anything ever changes? All of this could be a ploy to psychologically F around with the perception of everyone watching. Hollywood has been doing that for years. What do you think? These people aren't trained in the arts of deception? Like, we never shouldn't not expect something that's possibly a case. And this would be a very, very 4D chess IQ move if Trump all of a sudden was just playing a game and everyone was basically everyone got played, even though well, whatever. I can go on that subject too, but I'll skip that part.
Who has the nerve to run defense for USAID, especially those who call themselves socialists or commies, considering the fact that USAID was basically originally created to destroy communist countries all around the world. Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy under the noble guise of aiding developing nations, USAID.
The noble guys. Like this is official docs. It has guys in the word. Like this guys. And people think that USAID is actually USAID. When you put it on black text, look at that. USAID. USAID. But then you put the little black text for United States and aid for the other part that doesn't actually mean aid. It looks much better when you put it in a poster, don't it?
Was, in many respects, an instrument during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence and keep the Third World from crafting its own socioeconomic model. A year after President John Kennedy created USAID in 1961, he told its directors that, as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. It wasn't long before the CIA spotted an opportunity to extend its reach. In 1962, USAID launched its Office of Public Safety to send agents around the world under the guise of training police officers. But as it turned out, the trainers were busy teaching enhanced interrogation techniques, a euphemism for torture. The scandal broke out in 1966, and although the office was finally shut down in 1974, the dark practices persisted within military and intelligence circles. By 1980, USAID Administrator John Gilligan was candid enough to describe the agency as nothing more than a graduate school for the CIA. At one time, many aid field offices were infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, he said. It was pretty well known in the agency who they were and what they were up to. The idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas, government, volunteer, religious, every kind. USAID.
USAID. The idea is to implant our own everything into other countries. Make sure they're doing the right things. And if they're not, cause a coup or something. Like, I thought the KGB was bad. We were literally doing that with the disguise of aiding people. Imagine someone coming to help you and they only helped you because you knew, I don't know, your neighbor who is the mayor of the town. And he helped you and then starts to snoop around and talk about things and starts to basically be like, hey, you know the neighbor, you should introduce me. That's the smallest level case. Oh, the mayor is not doing really good. He's doing some really bad stuff I don't like. All of a sudden, the conflict starts heating up. Like, imagine someone being good for alternate intentions,
It was
motives.
quickly nicknamed the CIA's little sister. Oh, and here is John Bolton holding a trophy given to him by.
This is the guy. This is the guy running USA. First and foremost, that mustache. I'm a mustache kind of guy lately, but that mustache screams like either. Actually, one of my college professors had that. To be honest, I look at his face right now, and I'm remembering the college professor that had that. It was a math professor, but that teacher also waved everyone that was failing because he was trying to make himself look good. He was like, "Oh, you guys all have 50%. All right, here's a really easy test. It'll give you 15% boost on the final." Making himself look good. But he reminds me of like one of those old timesy bureaucrats that you would find on his little mansion, with his little collection of arts and crafts and articulate things, and has this very pompous communication, verbal level vocabulary. I'm tired, so I'm probably talking like a retard, but you know what I mean. That's what the mustache reminds me of. And he's holding a grenade. And yeah, let's give him the ability to help other people around the world, right? He's a perfect guy because he's in communication with every single military system. He's probably the middle of it, one of the few.
By USAID in the shape of a hand grenade. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. So let's talk about Zune Zaneo, shall we? Sit down. I love this story. Taken directly from Wikipedia, Zunzaneo was an online social networking and microblogging service created by the United States Agency for International Development, aka USAID, and marketed to Cuban users. It was covertly developed as a long-term strategy to encourage Cuban youths to revolt against the nation's government. The developers aimed to use non-controversial content such as sports and music to build up subscribers and then to slowly introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative. So basically, USAID created a fake-ass social media platform in Cuba with our tax dollars, flooded it with bot content about like sports and music and whatever, just to make it seem normal, then slowly started to manipulate the users and create political division on the app between Cuban citizens in order to create political chaos in this country and a potential